Lieutenant General, did you have some business to attend elsewhere, sir? I thought I'd conduct another sweep of the area as a precaution. But never mind that now. You came at the perfect time. A freight train bound for Ruhr departs 30 minutes from now. I want you all on board that train. Finish up your field study as quickly as you can and return to the academy. What? But sir, while things ultimately depend on the actions of the Republican Army, the bottom line is that we may be mere hours away from armed conflict with the Calvard Republic. I've already informed everyone in the settlement. Did they not relay the message to you? Be that as it may, we can't just turn tail and pretend none of this is happening. Lieutenant General, have you established which side attacked first? Gaius, that's the central question here. It's still under investigation. You have my assurance that the Imperial Army did not attack. You can see the tower in the background that's left. We did not make the first move, nor have we retaliated. However, our army's watchtower was destroyed, and several guards lost their lives. As the officer in charge of Vender Gate, I have a duty to act. So there really were fatalities. Let's presume, for the sake of argument, that the damage sustained by the Republican Army's base was in fact deliberate sabotage by their own forces. How bad was the damage? Hey, Oceanic. Nice to see you here. Several of their facilities suffered major structural damage. Their losses appear to be, at minimum, equal to ours. Honestly, I'd estimate them to be far greater. But if they suffered even more damage than we did, that doesn't make any sense. I'm afraid we've long since passed the point where leisurely discussing our possibilities was an option. I will do all I can to avoid full-scale war, but we're prepared for the possibility of armed conflict. And I suspect they are as well. But that just seems so wrong. Gaius is thinking. If that's your opinion, Lieutenant General, will you at least allow me the chance to investigate what happened on my own? Gaius? Investigate? On your own? As I'm sure you're aware, I know the Highlands like the back of my hand. And when someone attempts to threaten the peace of my homeland, I won't rest until I've unearthed the truth behind what's happening. You're serious. We'll do everything we can to help you. I think this falls within the scope of our field study, too. No, wait. This is the people of Nord's problem. There's no reason for you all to stay here and risk getting caught in the crossfire. A classmate and friend is staying behind. Isn't that reason enough? I am a son of the House of Albarea. I would never disgrace the honor of my family name by fleeing in the face of danger. Besides, it seems like your people have done a lot for my grandfather. Guys, do you remember what you said to us back at Heimdallr Station? The most important thing is that we all come back safe and sound. Everything else is secondary. And he's shocked. It appears you've lost this one, guys. Lieutenant General, It's currently 10:05. I will permit you until 12:30 to conduct your investigation. I will do everything in my power to postpone any potential conflict until at least then. Thank you. Thank you, sir. We haven't a moment to waste. We should begin by visiting the watchtower that was attacked. That sounds like a good place to start. Well, yeah.
Thank you.
Hey, Drax.
Really, I appreciate it more than you know.
It's no big deal, honestly. I agree with Elisa. We're classmates after all, and more than that, we're friends.
Well, this is clearly of great importance to you.
I know you want to protect your people, but that's not the only reason you're doing this, is it?
You got me. It ties back into why I accepted the Lieutenant General's recommendation and entered the Academy too. I'm sure each of you feels the same about your own homes, but I love this land with all my heart. The wind racing across the highlands, the vast mountain peaks, the clear blue of the sky, the breathtaking beauty of the rising sun, the melancholy of the sunset, the twinkling of the stars in the twilight. I love everything about this land of Nord. It's part of who I am.
Wow. I guess it hadn't sunk in how much Nord means to you.
I mean, it's his home.
I'm certainly attached to Ruhr, but I can't think of anyone else who would state their love for their homeland so poetically.
If you love it so much, why did you leave it behind? If you truly love Nord, if Nord is such a part of you, what is it that drove you to enroll in a military academy in a foreign land so far away?
I'm not surprised you'd find it strange. To be honest, I'm still not totally sure what compelled me to do it. Back when I was a kid, the Republican Army built a base in the Eastern Plains, and the Imperial Army responded in kind with their watchtower. It's made me more uneasy with every passing year.
Hey.
Years ago, a traveling priest from the Septian Church taught me all about the history of the continent. One thing that stood out to me was just how many lives have been lost during the conflicts between the major powers. Another major theme was just how profound of an impact the Orbital Revolution had on people's lives. Even the concepts of time and distance have changed so much. In effect, the Orbital Revolution shrunk the world. It made me realize a sad truth, one that kind of scares me even now. That there was no guarantee my homeland could stay at peace forever. That one day, it might be drawn into outsiders' conflicts and be occupied and redistricted into oblivion.
I can't believe you were thinking about such weighty things even as a kid.
So then, you joined the Academy in order to learn more about the outside world that posed a threat to your homeland?
Yeah, something along those lines.
Thank you, Drax. I really appreciate you guys coming in and hanging out with me.
When I realized how afraid I was, I knew I couldn't close my eyes. I wanted to do something, anything, to protect this land. As luck would have it, I met the Lieutenant General. He's the one who told me about Thor's military academy. One thing led to another. He offered me a recommendation, and before I knew it, I took him up on his offer. So there I was, green as grass, heading off to study abroad despite having no clue what life in the Empire was like. Thinking back on how it all came together, what you said is probably what I was thinking back then.
Honestly, I've yet to hear a student offer a more galvanizing reason than yours for enrolling at the Academy.
I have to agree. I don't know too many people who love their home so much that they'd leave it behind to find a way to protect it.
It's not a sentiment I can imagine many Erebonians feeling, that's for sure. But I think I finally understand. Elisa? Just an idle thought. But having heard Gaius pour his heart out to us, there's no way we can just walk away from this. Not after the people of Nord gave us such a warm welcome and treated us like family. Indeed, I couldn't have asked for more.
Agreed. We'll get to the bottom of what's going on here and stop war from breaking out.
Nord may not be our home, but it's still an important neighbor. I'll do what I can to aid you.
Thanks, all of you. Really, thank you.
Okay, so this is the watchtower that we previously had visited and has been bombed and people died, and we don't know who bombed it or why or any of those things. Hence the investigation. You can see shell damage everywhere. It's even worse than I'd feared. They've confirmed casualties too. I didn't think I'd ever have to see anything like this. As students at a military academy, things like this are always within the realm of possibility. Although I hardly expected my first sight of such devastation to be the spark that ignites war with Calvard. This may be too much for students like us to handle. No, we've all been in situations that looked impossible before, haven't we? And every time we've come through, we just have to stay calm and think. I'm sure we can do something here, too. You're right. True, we should focus on doing what we can. Whatever we decide to do, we need to get a better grasp of the situation. Yeah, let's find out who's in charge and get their permission to start an investigation. My friend did. Actually, two of my friends did. I have, and I'm just going to read this for when I do cutouts later. People hear me talking. They don't know I'm talking to my chat. So I have one person that I work for that I consider a very good friend that is an opera singer, and she does reaction videos and performs and stuff like that. So I work on her staff, and so seeing her doing what she's doing, and it's a different type of streaming, but she really inspired me with her talent. And then I was asked to moderate a Discord for another friend that I met through Maggie, the opera singer, and that's where some of my other friends in the chat are from as well. And Kate asked me if I would moderate that Discord for her. So I moderate her Discord, and I've begun moderating her Twitch. And I think you might be familiar with Kate now. I'm not sure. And then Kate said, "You're playing video games. Why don't you stream?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm not that great of a gamer. You know, I'm just play because I like to play." And she's like, "It doesn't matter if you're a good gamer or not. You know, you can stream because people like to watch people who are trying to figure out the game, or they like to help people." Which, in the case of my games, I've had a lot of people come in and try to help me. So that's how it started. Is I had these two people that I've worked for in a capacity, and was just inspired by them, by what they do. So that's how I got into it. My son is also an affiliate with Twitch too, by the way, but you know, he and I, we play completely different kinds of games. So there is that too. So we'll back to the game for a second here. And Rose should be coming in soon. She knows or knew I was going to come in around 7 or so. So I'm thinking she'll pop in at some point. So we have the warrant officer, and he's like, "I see. If Lieutenant General Vander has given you his permission, I see no reason to refuse." Thank you. However, I want to make it clear that armed conflict with Calvard could begin at any moment. We've got our hands full, staying on guard for any potential threat from the east. I'll permit you to speak with the soldiers here, but don't get in the way of them doing their duties. Understood. Okay, let's get started. We should start by speaking with the soldiers and assessing the damage. That seems wise. When we've gathered all the information we need, we can start piecing it together. Right, let's